There's no audio, Matt.
Yeah, we're not hearing.
I'm detecting that. Let me try one more time. Share sound.
Unmute.
Here. Here.
Give me 1 second.
You're not doing it, Dave.
I know it by heart, so I can say it if we don't have it.
Go ahead.
Okay. Under the governor's emergency executive order, we are holding this meeting pursuant to COVID-19 restrictions. Anyone who wishes to address this, do you have it there?
Yep. Thanks for starting us off, though.
Okay.
Unofficial Chair Hudson says thank you.
We're still not hearing it.
But we can see it.
Okay,
The little X
that's
is on
fine.
the speaker, Matt. Matt, the little X is on the speaker.
Call upon them at the appropriate.
Thanks, Peter.
Citizens will
I'm gonna
have 3
start
minutes
over.
to speak. Due to COVID-19, this meeting will be conducted as a Zoom meeting pursuant to the provisions of the Governor's Executive Order N-2920, which suspends certain requirements of the Brown Act. This meeting is being live streamed on the CCTA website. The chair will call upon members, staff, and other speakers by name. Please speak clearly and state your name before giving comments or remarks. Persons participating via Zoom with their cameras enabled are reminded that their activities are visible to viewers. Members participating by Zoom wishing to speak should physically raise their hand and unmute their mic when called upon. Members should remute their mics when done speaking. Citizens participating by Zoom wishing to speak should use the Raise Hand feature or dial *9 if participating via phone, and the chair or staff will call upon them at the appropriate time. Citizens will have 3 minutes to speak. A 30-second warning will be provided. After 3 minutes, staff will lower their hand and mute their mic. Participants via phone will be called upon by the last 4 digits of their phone number. It is requested that public speakers state their names and organization, but providing such information is voluntary. Written public comments received in accordance with the COVID-19 Special Notice for Public Comment Guidelines are printed on the meeting agenda. If authors of the written correspondence would like to speak, they should raise their hand and the chair will call upon them at the appropriate time. All written correspondence received after that and during the meeting will be entered into the record. A roll call vote will be taken for all action items. Thank you for participating in a meeting of the Contra Costa Transportation Authority.
Thank you. So can we have a roll call, please? I don't know if Terry Ann's doing that or Jacqueline's doing that.
I'll be doing that. Yes, thank you.
There you are.
Thank you, Chair Mitchoff. Commissioner Haskew?
Here.
Commissioner Hudson?
Here.
Commissioner Kelly?
Here.
Commissioner White?
Here.
And Chair Mitchoff.
Here. This, I'm going to, we're going to go to public comment for items not on the agenda, but until I get out of my car, Jacqueline, I'm going to depend on you for raised hands because I'm looking at the street and not at my screen. So this is the opportunity. Oh, I can't stand up, but do we have a flag for the pledge or do we need to do that? No, okay, good. We all adore the United States of America. Going on to public comment, this is the opportunity on our meeting for anyone to address us on any item not on the agenda. There will be opportunity to speak under public comment on agendaized items. Are there any people who wish to address us under public comment? Do you see any, Jacqueline?
No, we have not received any public comment either.
All right, then we will move on to the consent calendar. Is there anyone who wishes me to pull anything off the consent calendar? Seeing and or hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Second.
Move to.
Moved by Haskew, second by Hudson.
Yep.
That
Okay.
broke an all-time record.
Is there any public comment on our consent calendar? Okay, we don't have any. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Commissioner Hudson,
Aye.
Commissioner White,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Vice Chair Haskew,
Aye.
Chair Mitchoff.
Yes. Okay, I looked at the agenda, but I can't look at it right now, so I'm calling the next item. Jacqueline, would you announce it, please?
Oh, yes, I just want to say motion passes unanimously for the
Oh,
consent.
yes, thank you. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, so we have regular agenda item 6A. This is going to be presented by Matt Kelly.
Can you say what it is for the public?
Yes, the item is, sorry, for approval to issue an urban limit line for the policy advisory letter to local, oh, I'm on the wrong one.
The wrong one.
That's last month.
I have it here if you need me to announce it.
Yeah, can you,
Thank
can you
Yes,
announce
please,
it, Diane?
Mary.
Item 4A, approval of work plan to update the congestion management program for 2021, and this will be provided by Matt Kelly.
Wonderful. Thank you. Go ahead, Matt.
Thank you, Chair Mitchoff and Planning Committee members. Great to be here tonight. So I'm here to present the work plan for the congestion management program. As you may know, the CMP is legislatively required as a congestion management agency, as the congestion management agency for Contra Costa. We are required to update it every 2 years. This will be our 15th update since 1991. And just for a little background, I know most of you have heard this before, but I'll let the new member know that the congestion management program was developed back in 1991 as a statewide program in response to kind of sprawl development and things like that going on around the state. And they used Measure C at the time's growth management program as the template for the state's congestion management program. So there are definitely some overlaps. So what is required under the CMP is that we establish level of service standards for a countywide roadway network that includes all our state highways and principal arterials, that we establish performance measures and metrics for the multimodal system, transportation system, that we identify a capital improvement program to maintain that transportation system, that we have a program to analyze the impacts of land use developments on the transportation system. That really is what our growth management program does. And then a travel demand element that promotes alternatives to the single occupant vehicle. So those are the main requirements of the CMP. As I mentioned, the GMP fulfills many of those requirements. And I'm going to hit on that a little bit later for an added, something added this time around because of that, the GMP fulfilling all those requirements. So the CMP must demonstrate consistency with the current adopted RTP. Our last time we updated in 2019, we had the same RTP adopted. So we're referring back to the same RTP. MTC's guidelines for 2021 state that consistency will be with that same older RTP, and they're advising for a limited update of the CMP. So we are proposing a limited technical update of the CMP, focusing on any changes since 2019. But our primary focus will be the biannual monitoring we do of the entire system, including collecting pedestrian and bicycle counts at 65 locations around the county, in addition to all the freeways. The major addition that I was alluding to a little bit earlier is that for the first time, in the CMP, we will examine the authority opting out of the CMP process. This is something that's been talked about a while. We feel like because the GMP does satisfy most of the requirements, and we're really just doing kind of this is a formality. We do get some good things out of it, like the monitoring, but we feel like we may be better off just opting out. So as part of this update, we will examine that. We are working with MTC to make sure that there are no funds lost in that opting out when it comes to gas taxes, things like that pass through We look to our peers up at Sonoma County, who opted out several years ago and have been just fine. LA County just opted out this past year, which is what really got our attention. We've been following that process. So we'll come back to you when we have our draft CMP with a little more information there. But our proposal is to move ahead with the work plan, do the monitoring of the system this spring, so we can really get a better look at the impacts of COVID. And a schedule for the CMP update is in your packet. And I can take any questions.
Okay, thank you. I'm almost home, but I still can't see hands raised. So
I have it
who el-
if I can, Karen.
Sure, go ahead, Dave.
Your recommendation, Matt, is just to start this, but not opt out at this time?
Correct. That's our work plan. Part of the work plan is examining that opt out and coming back to you.
Okay, you just asked to start the plan. I'll move it.
I have a question. Does anybody else have a question? Okay, Matt, I want to make sure I understand. I understand you're looking at it this year. And was the main reason that it's duplicative of other work we do, or is there any downside to us opting out?
Well, it is duplicative of the growth management program. So that's our primary reason. But the only reason we haven't opted out is because we're worried that losing that CMP, being part of the CMP could affect us somehow. So we will look into that, working with MTC. They have told us we won't initially. So we'll keep investigating that. If there's a chance we would lose funds somehow, we would not go forward with the opting out, but we don't think that's going to be.
Well, and if Sonoma's opted out and
Yeah.
Dave Rabbit sits on MTC, so I'm going to do that. Okay. Are there any other hands raised?
Motion.
Karen.
Chris, did I hear something?
No, I'll just second Dave's motion.
Oh, okay. Moved by Hudson, seconded by Kelly. Do we have any public comment on this? Hearing that we don't, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Commissioner Hudson,
Aye.
Commissioner White,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Vice Chair Haskew,
Aye.
Chair Mitchoff. Chair Mitchoff? Uh-oh,
Karen, did we lose you?
I think she's frozen.
She says yes.
Okay, well, the
How
motion
about-
passes.
Go ahead, finish.
Motion passes unanimously with Chair Mitchoff abstaining.
Okay, so until she comes back, why don't I step in and we'll go on to the next item. And unfortunately, I'd ask somebody to read it again because my iPad just went blank. So would somebody please read the title of the next item?
Yes, the next item is for, this is action item 6B, approval of amendment number 2 to agreement number 428 with Iteris. And this is also going to be presented by Matt Kelly.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Haskew. Thank you, Jackie. So this is related to the last item. It's a separate approval, but related. One of the required components of the congestion management program is the biannual monitoring of the system. We do feel like this is one of the best things we do get out of the CMP. And it is because we are able to do a biannual kind of assessment of the CMP network, which is all of our freeways and most of our major arterials. We try and add value to this process by collecting those bike and pedestrian counts at all the intersections in addition to the vehicle counts. So we've had a running total of bike and ped counts since 2011. So that's been valuable. This contract is with Iteris. They're a California firm who has done our CMP monitoring since 2015. So this would be their 4th cycle. The reason we thought it'd be good to bring them back on board this time, as opposed to going out for a new contract, is that we're hoping this may be one of the last normal CMP cycles where they're requiring the same type of monitoring, just because it doesn't line up with the VMT changes that the state has done. So we, anytime we bring on a new consultant, they have to kind of recode the entire system into the entire transportation network into their monitoring system, which takes a fair amount of effort and budget. So we thought it would be more efficient just to keep Iteris on for one more cycle. In addition to that, they've added a task on at no additional cost where they are going to prepare a dashboard, which is kind of like, right now we're just getting a report every 2 years from this big data source that we have access to. Developing a dashboard would give us real-time live access to the data that we were normally just looking at every 2 years. So this would allow us to have a website that anyone could look at, staff, cities, the general public, that would show exactly what's going on in Contra Costa. Would allow you to look at archive data, would allow you to do queries of the transportation data. So we think by keeping Iteris on for one more round, we can not lose any of the momentum they've built up with us over the years in doing this fairly routine monitoring, but also get some added value this time around. So our proposal, or our staff's recommendation, is to amend for the second time Iteris's contract to do the biennial monitoring of the CMP network. And that's my presentation. I can take any questions.
And I'm back, and there's something wrong with my virtual background, but that's okay. Do we have any questions or comments for Matt?
We voted for you, Karen.
I thank you. Yeah.
You abstained.
From the car to the computer. So, okay, I'm not seeing, do we have any public comment, Jacqueline?
No public comment.
All right, maybe we have a roll call.
Oh, we need a
I'll
motion,
move to keep
Yes,
it
thank you.
there.
and I'll second.
Staff
right, moved by
recommendation.
Gotta be
Hudson.
fast, Holland.
Seconded by Haskew. Roll
DH.
call vote, please.
Commissioner Hudson,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Vice Chair Haskew,
Yes.
and Chair Mitchoff.
Yes,
Okay, motion
And-
passes unanimously. I'm sorry.
wonderful. Correspondence and communications in your packet. Commissioner and staff comments. I don't have any comments. Do any of our commissioner colleagues have any comments?
I do. I've never seen so many H's in one meeting in my life.
So many
Okay.
H's.
There, yeah, we got the Haskew, we got the Hudson, we got Holland, we got Hom. I mean, Hale. I mean, this is a glorious day for H's.
Honey, you got a pretty sad life.
We got
If
honey.
that
We
is-
got honey too.
Oh, yeah, honey. Okay. Executive staff, Mr. Hale, did you have anything to add to our meeting tonight?
Nothing to report tonight. Thank you.
All righty. Well,
Peter
with,
Engel.
he's still up in Tahoe and he put his picture back up. Peter, did you have-
Nothing to report. Thank you.
Okay, and I see Colin and John and Matt have already done their thing. So with that, we're going to adjourn to our meeting on March 3rd, 2021. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Nice to see you all.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Karen.